Hello people, I'm James Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Panda number 2. This video is a one-parter. It is about the Terminator new movie Dark Fate that's coming out and time travel. Alright, so I'm also going to do a time travel video separate from this so you guys can understand where I'm coming from while I'm making this video. So in the concept of Terminator, from the very first one to the more recent Genesis to the one that's coming out in November, time travel has been a thing. Alright? And time travel has been a thing in the Avengers' most recent movie, The Endgame, and in Back to the Future, and in Star Trek. Not so much Star Wars, but definitely in Star Trek. And other space adventure shows have dealt with time. Even the Power Rangers had a team called Time Force. So, yeah, I know they see those damn lights, but they're watching basketball right now. And you know people of color in basketball. Yippee fucking ki-yay. Anyway, I'm not going to remake this video, so I'm just going to go. Time travel for Terminators, you know, they always come through naked, and they always got a human endoskeleton or exoskeleton or whatever the hell. They have living flesh, so that they can go through time and all that. So for that concept, you know, they haven't really ever explained how the timelines can be shifted, or if John Connor is not born, how it would affect the timeline, which is really a commodity in a conundrum and a clusterfuck and an anomaly, because John Connor sent Kyle Reese to go back to create him. So I guess before John Connor sends Kyle Reese to go back to create him, does he have a father before that? Before Kyle Reese becomes his father? And is that like one of the things that altered the timeline? Did John Connor know that Kyle Reese was his father, and did Kyle Reese get sent back to become his father by John Connor because he knew that Kyle Reese would become his father? You understand the circular clusterfuck that I'm forming with this, right? Because you have to look at point A. John Connor sends his best soldier, Kyle Reese, to the past to meet his mom and save his mom, but Kyle Reese was already in love with his mom from all the portraits that he has seen of Sarah Connor. So how the hell does all this connect, and how in the hell does John Connor decide to send Kyle Reese? He could have sent any other soldier, but he sends Kyle Reese. Kyle Reese, a virgin soldier who goes back through time, who meets Sarah Connor, who we have no idea if she's a virgin or whatever the hell her love life is, but she's going to have sex with Kyle Reese, and he's going to be John Connor's father. Son, excuse me. Y'all know what the fuck I mean. You read the concept. You've seen the Terminator movies. And if you haven't, you just went on a wild ride. So, how does all of this come about without forming anomalies and stuff like that? And then when you see Genesis, you see that Kyle Reese goes back, and him and Sarah Connor don't have no love, but they're all trying to kill the Terminator. But then the Terminator has decided to not kill Sarah Connor, but to kill Kyle Reese. Because if Kyle Reese does not go back in time to meet Sarah Connor, there is no John Connor. Don't try to logicalize that. But it is logically feasible for a machine to decide, if I wipe out the egg and the sperm, there's no John Connor. So you see how that works? So in the first movie, they sent Kyle Reese back. Kyle Reese makes John Connor. Now, in the second movie, John Connor's a kid. In the third movie, John Connor's grown, and they say Judgment Day was inevitable, which it wound up being inevitable. And if you've seen the one with Christian Bale as John Connor, he got the heart from a cyborg that was frozen many, many years ago, and that Terminator dies. So was he the idea of the T-800 going back? You see the anomaly when you put all of the films together? And then Genesis was like a complete retcon of everything. And so, even though they sent Kyle Reese back to meet with Sarah Connor, it was Kyle Reese who winds up getting saved by Sarah Connor at the store, plus the T-800. So, you see the clusterfuck with time travel? Time travel, really, the rules for Terminator are like A, B, Z, A. Okay? Because it's like all over the place. If you go from Terminator 1 all the way to Genesis, and they're saying Dark Fate is more or less a standalone movie that comes in between Terminator 2 and 3. Okay, that's just what I'm going on with what you guys are seeing on YouTube. So don't quote me on that. You'll figure it out when the movie is released. But if they're doing all of this, and they're after a new kid and a new girl, and everything else is wiped out or whatever, what in the hell is going on with their rules of time? That's what this video is about. I have no idea how their timeline works or what's going on, because Genesis, at the end, Kyle Reese, adult, talks to Kyle Reese, kid, and tells him that Genesis is Skynet. So when everybody gets their Genesis system, they all have subsequently contributed to the end of human life as we know it by activating Genesis. Skynet piggybacks off of Genesis and then takes over the world. Alright? Now, before I close out, here's the thing about that. Skynet apparently has enough coherency to have arms to build enough Terminator units. So Skynet's first thing as a satellite, it must take over a warehouse of some sort to make robots that look like humans. But Skynet must also find a way to have some scientists with some brains develop a damn human skin. So somehow or another, Skynet obviously did that, and they did it in Genesis, where Skynet takes over John Connor and sends him back to kill Kyle Reese, which logically would fuck John Connor up, because Kyle Reese is John Connor's father. Unless before the timeline where John Connor sends Kyle Reese back to become his father, he had a father previously to that, which is never known. Which is why I asked, is this like one of those A, B, Z timelines and a serious clusterfuck? So my next video will be about timelines, alternate universes, clusterfuck according to comic books. Alright? So please pay attention to that, because if this didn't fuck you up, the other one will probably make it just as bad. I'm James Williams, News Comfort Eric number 2. Yeah, I was about to do a Wakanda Forever thing, but that's okay. Be seeing you.